Hey everyone, this is Tony, Dungeon Master for D&D Raw, and before we begin, I wanted to talk about the fantastic folks over at Tabletop Loot. They're a couple who sell and ship all sorts of loot, from t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, and most importantly, so many beautiful dice. We got to spend some time with these awesome folks at Gen Con this year, and you really need to check them out. Right now, you can go to tabletoploot.com and input the promo code RAW in order to get 15% off any dice that you order from them. We've started using some of their orange sherbet dice during our games, and rolling great for me. But they have so many other beautiful dice to choose from. So definitely check out tabletoploot.com and use the promo code RAW, R-A-W, to get 15% off all dice on their website. Thanks so much for listening, and thank you, Tabletop Loot. Also, don't forget you can support D&D Raw on Patreon to access behind-the-scenes content while earning our undying gratitude, including special shoutouts, bonus content, and even the chance to join us in the game. We even recently updated all of our tier rewards, so absolutely you need to come check us out at patreon.com/DNDRaw. We would be thrilled if you support us on Patreon. Anyways, on to episode 6 of Serviceable Plots. I'm taking your bacon. With me today are the following players.
Hi, I'm Bethany, and I'll be playing Belinda Walsingham, the half-elf awakened mystic.
Hi, I'm Adam, and I will be playing Akiva Conchu, the Shadar Kai Hexblade Warlock.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'll be playing Scriv Waitecliff, the human mastermind rogue.
Hi, I'm Giuseppe, and I'll be playing Valen Blackwater, an Azamar monk paladin.
Last time, the four of you took Zolas to the Ocean Breeze, where you all talked about the attack from these deathlocks. Zolas explained that he believes these creatures to be servants of a demon lord that goes by the name Tenebris. After explaining he had a vision from his goddess Fumera about a potential attack on Orenthal, Zolas said that he had not heard from his goddess since then, and confirmed the date as the 23rd of Neil, just over a year ago. The same date the divine energy in the world almost completely vanished. The party then decided that they would first give Zolas a day to recover from his journey, while Belinda and Scriv took care of some business they had at Arborshade Academy. During the night, however, Akiva was visited by a strange entity, who explained that as Akiva grew stronger, so would he, and that he hoped the two of them would have a mutually beneficial arrangement. Now before we go into Valen and Akiva's morning, we're going to briefly jump over to Belinda and Scriv. So, Belinda, Scriv, as you are both waking up in the morning, what are you doing?
Going over my prayer wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, I would do my bit of time in contemplation, and then I suppose sort of a morning routine. I don't think we're planning to leave today, so we don't have to pack up our stuff. Just sort of maybe a general tidying.
Are you sure? I think we should go to the academy and then leave town as quickly as possible.
Well, we're sort of waiting for Zolas to recover, since he's exhausted, and I think our plan was to leave first thing in the morning tomorrow.
Okay.
But, I mean, worst case, we can come get our stuff. We'll have everything ready to go. We just don't have to take everything with us at the moment.
I'm gonna pack up my things in case we need to leave quickly.
Okay.
Not that I don't trust your judgment, it's just, well, there were zombies that threw fireballs last night, and I don't want to tempt fate.
I think our whole trip here is tempting fate, if there is such a thing as fate at all.
Wow, that's unexpectedly nihilistic of you this morning.
I'm a little tired, but overall, yeah, apparently that makes me nihilistic, and that's okay, right? I guess the conversation last night was a little intense as well. I think I actually reacted out of something beyond just logic, so...
You probably hurt Akiva's feelings, honestly.
I'm still not sure how to handle him. I don't respond well to willful ignorance, but at the same time, I know I have a bit of a chip on my shoulder about this, so...
I wouldn't say it's willful ignorance so much as something he hasn't really thought about. I mean, if what I remember about the Shadar Kai is true, then, I mean, he lives in a place where his god is just there, all the time, every day.
Yeah, that's true, but at the same time, he's been on this plane for a while, and he's bound to have noticed the impact that this absence of the deities has had on everyone. I would hate to see that experience diminished, but perhaps I was a bit strong in my reaction. I won't say I'm going to apologize, but we'll see.
It's worth at least talking about over breakfast.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a nice chat over breakfast. I think our plan afterwards is to sort of take shifts, sort of keeping an eye on Zolas just in case something does come up. But we definitely need to go talk to Zidavir at Arborshade Academy, because I think she would be the right person to take a look at your relic.
Yeah, I really want to know how this all fits into everything. The necklace isn't typical of something you'd find in Silverkeep. It's weird and elven.
Yeah, it's a little concerning, but if she doesn't have the answer, I'm sure she can point us in the right direction for who would. Well, I think weird and elven is something she would definitely be able to speak to, so we don't exactly have an appointment, but I believe she's expecting us, so I think we can go and see what kind of answers we can find, and maybe she will also have some insight into what happened last night, having been, I assume, somewhat aware of the goings-on, considering, you know, a good portion of the city was on fire, so I think maybe we'll get some additional information that could help guide our decisions for our next step.
Do you think that we're going to get an unexpected visit from the city guard later today? Things got kinda heated at the docks, and Valen didn't leave the best of first impressions.
I would say it's expected rather than unexpected.
This is a lot of trouble.
We are being paid well, and we were needing to come to Amaran anyways, so on the face of it, it makes sense, and, I mean, it's an adventure.
That is true. Now come on, let's get breakfast. I'm starving.
Sounds good.
All right. By about this time, Akiva, you wake up.
Okay. Valen! Valen! And I literally just jump on his bed and trying to shake him awake.
There's actually probably no way that I wouldn't actually just wake up stark, like, upright the second I hear screaming.
Yep.
So,
just a full
it'd be
90
funny,
degrees.
Yeah, it would be really funny to do the entire groggy Valen. I actually have... It's just... What's going on? Are they back?
No. I just had a really weird dream. Or vision. Or I don't know what it is.
Okay. Nope. Stones, glass houses. Continue.
I think my sword talked to me, but it was a person that looked like me, but with black hair. But they were definitely looked like Shadar Kai at the very least. They were elven with pale skin, red eyes, onyx black hair, black cloak, and they said they gave me the power, and I can't tell if he's evil or not, and I'm kind of freaking out because he was like, I don't want you to become like those like warlocks that failed their mission last night that we had to fight. So I don't know what he wants.
Well, breaking that down a few levels, so you did accept power.
Yes.
Right. You got the sword as a result of that power.
Yeah.
Okay. Stands to reason that is a conduit of some sort to the thing that gave you power.
Mm-hmm.
Did this entity demand anything of you?
Not yet. I have a feeling he's going to eventually.
Okay. I have not felt anything particularly fiendish coming from your weapon at any point over the year we've been traveling.
Yeah, this is actually... Because I told you about how I got the weapon. I just found it. It was one of the heirlooms that my people told me never to really touch.
And then you touched it.
Yeah, I grabbed it because I wanted to save my people. And that was the only time other than now that I've ever heard its voice.
Okay. Well, interesting timing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what I can say except that we'll figure it out and I will be here to help you.
Okay. I wanted to let you know because I'm a little freaked out that he's evil. He doesn't seem like a god, but I'm not sure. That might just be how he appeared to me.
Well, I know from personal experience that there are beings that are strong enough to grant others power without necessarily needing to be a god. And Tara, my Deva, I know I've spoken of her. She did form such a bond, a pact, with a good friend of mine who I traveled with before you. So I've seen that these things can happen. So there's no reason to believe it's another god. And if nothing has been asked of you yet, we cannot assume that just because they look evil, they are in fact evil. Because, again, you look very evil. So let's just take some deep breaths. In and out. Do that for a few minutes here. We're going to be okay. We're going to figure it out together.
The only thing that set me off was how he talked, but I guess it's been a while since I've had interacted with somebody like me. We used to have to talk when we were in the Shadowfell.
Someone that speaks formally and with the weight of centuries upon centuries of experience?
Yeah. So it might have just been that.
It sounds sinister.
Yeah. So, should we probably keep this between us?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Simply because we don't know the others that well. I still feel like there's cards they haven't played. I don't think they're a bad lot. They can handle themselves well. We don't have to, babysit them on this.
Okay.
But let's just not cause any further potential rifts between Belinda and you.
Yeah. I mean, she does kind of have a point. I've never had to think about the relationship between my people and Neslim before.
That's true. I think that maybe despite herself, she was getting emotional, and she didn't know how to process that.
Yeah, that was odd. I've never seen her just...
expressions.
Yeah.
So, we're just gonna give her a little bit of a pass.
Okay.
We'll act cool. We'll all be cool. No one has to talk about terrifying apparitions in the night. It's gonna be fun.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So, what do we have planned for today then? What do you? I'm sorry I had to wake you up so early. It was just
early.
I mean, so abruptly.
I get up, look outside, find the position of the sun, shudder.
It's not early.
It is not early, but it wouldn't be. We went to bed at like 4 a.m.
Yep.
So we are taking first shift watching our new ward, the cleric, and then once Belinda and Scriv have gotten back from, I believe they were going to the academy, I'm going to take you around the city like I promised I would. You're gonna see Amaran proper. Not on fire and not the docks, because the docks smell.
Okay, weird. What do they smell like?
Well, you might not have noticed what with all the undead stinking up the place yesterday, but fish. Old fish. It's not great. And sweat. And salt. Just...
Oh, right. Ocean.
Yeah.
There are fish in there.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of fish being brought in, and sometimes they fall in places and they're not grabbed and they just sort of rot in the sun. It's a particular bouquet that we can do better than. We're going to take you out. I've set aside a little bit of money. You can go shopping. You can get some trinkets.
We can go shopping?
Yes, I know you love baubles.
There's so many cool things in this world.
Yes, that's the plan. So we will be on guard for the first few hours of the day, however long the appointment
By the way,
the academy takes.
To ask you, because you're way better judge of character than I am. What do you think of this soulless guy?
I'm not entirely sure how to read him. He wasn't himself last night. I don't think any of us were, what with the being on fire and undead. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we'll talk with him, get a better read on him. He seems sincere, if nothing else, in his desire to do the will of his goddess. I'm not sure how that one shakes out. Yeah, at the very least, I don't think we're doing anything wrong by getting to Orenthal.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you had a good feeling about him, because, I mean, he seems nice to me, but, I mean, everybody seems nice to me.
It's true, you have that going for you.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword. Let's get food. Maybe not fish. Maybe find something other than fish.
Okay,
Yeah.
it all tastes good, so I'm okay.
We'll scatter. Head downstairs, see what Cora can help us find.
Alrighty. So, when you arrive, I'm assuming all of you guys are going and getting ready to go get some breakfast at the Ocean Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
That's where she...
Who's collecting Zolas?
We can collect him.
Okay. He's just a door down from you guys. You knock and he slowly opens it. He is still dressed in his crocodile skin coat and just kind of looks like... breakfast time?
Yes, we'll get some food in you. You can then retire back to your room if you need. You've had a trying few days. But if you're ever going to get back into the swing of things, calories, go.
Alright. You see him reach, towards his bed, and he puts his hat on and ties his sword to his side, and he's like, alright.
Can I, while he's getting ready, just kind of see if I can get body proportions and measurements? If he's going to continue to go around in a very jaunty and distinguishable outfit, it might do to have an extra set of clothes if he needs to become indistinguishable from the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, that's easy enough for you.
I had a quick question. So,
Yes.
Did we hear Valen from our room?
He was pretty loud. You guys are across the way. You heard Valen, and then, of course, you couldn't hear anything else
Yeah,
past
after that. I figured not. We heard that occurred. Something has happened.
Yes, so. You did hear Akiva call out Valen.
Perfect. Okay.
But yes, so Zolas is kind of getting up. Studying Zolas for a little bit. He's a little taller than Akiva. He's about 6 foot tall. He's more athletic, more muscular than Akiva. Not quite as, built as Valen, but he's got broad shoulders and he's very, you kind of, as he's moving, you notice, while he's moving slowly, he's still pretty steady on his feet.
Is it possible for us to give him like a change of Valen's clothes or something? Should
it would look
push
big
him
on
to
him.
shove?
You could hem it up a bit, but
Yeah, can we, like, Project Runway that nonsense and, like, just make it work?
it could work.
You know what'll definitely work?
Just getting him new clothes.
Either getting him new clothes or take off my cloak, throw it at him,
Yeah.
Yes.
cover up the coat.
That would work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Assuming he's agreeable to that.
And I'm just making note of this in case something happens and we need to get him away quick.
Good call.
I also don't mention this to anyone.
So you're just sizing him up right now.
Yes.
Okay.
He's doing the Scriv. So we're all sitting at breakfast? Just want to make sure I missed
We'll say, like, you guys all, just to fast track that a little bit, you all got over to the Ocean Breeze. Jasmal is there, and
Sit, eat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would try to sit near Akiva.
I'll elbow you if you don't start saying anything.
I'm going to... I will casually sit next to him.
Help.
So, yeah. So, Akiva,
Yes.
everything okay this morning?
Oh, yeah. About the yelling?
Yeah, that really about the yelling, yeah.
Yeah, I had a really weird dream. I was being, like, eaten by, like, these weird worms, and there was, like... Yeah, it was really... And then like flying up above were, like, these like, giant... Almost looked like seagulls, but they were, like, huge, like dragon sized, but they were seagulls.
Valen is just nodding with a big smile on his face.
Can I try and get a closer look at the inner workings of Akiva's mind? I would like to psychoanalyze these
That
thoughts.
seems like a dangerous place.
you can.
Okay.
Yeah, Belinda does not believe you.
I would like to make a clarifying question.
Yes.
Scriv is taking him at face value and is
Yes.
trying to determine the
it's
meaning of those dreams.
Right, the meaning of
Okay.
dreams. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Scriv is completely buying into
so
Yeah.
you buy it. You're just trying to interpret the dream.
it. Yes.
I would say that would be more of an insight check.
I must interpret the meaning.
So, Akiva, I mean, if Belinda is inciting your
Yes.
honesty, then you're rolling deception.
Okay.
So, first, interpretation roll.
That is a crit fail.
Oh,
Oh,
oh no.
You know what? He's seen some stuff in the Shadowfell, man. He's seen some stuff.
I just start tearing up a little bit. I'm so sorry.
he's so broken. He puts up this facade,
He seems so friendly and cheerful, but
the
on the
veneer of
inside...
happiness.
Death is all around him.
Do you want the insight first or the deception?
I'll take the insight first.
It's a 24.
Deception?
Oh, I'm only a 17.
So, yeah, no. Akiva's not. He's not telling you the truth.
Well, sometimes we're like, interesting. I don't tend to have anything like that in my experience.
Yeah, neither do I. That was why I was a little freaked out.
Yeah, you definitely sounded really freaked out, considering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the worms.
About, those worms and creatures and things. Yeah, that sounds pretty intense. So, here's the thing.
Okay.
Here's the thing about that dream.
No. We're not worried about the dream. Here's the thing, Akiva. We come from very different backgrounds. I've grown up here in a mundane world with, there's magic and everything, but I did bookkeeping. I am used to dealing in concrete things and the experiences of those around me. So I know that colors my perspective on everything.
Okay.
And where you're coming from is not something that I've experienced. So I know I was a little hard on you yesterday.
I mean, to be fair, I can see where you're coming from, and you did raise a valid point. I have never really had to really ponder the relationship between my people and Neslim. We worship him, but we also, I never have personally met him, but there are people in my tribe that go and speak with him in person and have seen him.
Yeah, I know it's sort of maybe more of a cultural belief rather than a specific...
Yeah, but I get where you're coming from, and I'm really, really sorry if I offended you.
I think I spoke more from a place and less from my own sense of loss, which is definitely important, but I was actually at a Temple of Adar when it happened, and I saw how it affected all of the clerics there who, you know, this is their life, this is their everything. And to suddenly have that connection severed was traumatic. And for some, just something they couldn't even begin to cope with. So I think I reacted less, I didn't think about it from your perspective. I was coming from a place of, I didn't want to see that experience, that story being diminished. I know you didn't mean to brush it off, but that was why I reacted the way I did.
And the more I thought about it, I tried to think, how would I feel if suddenly one of my tribe leaders had reported that Neslim was gone or dead? So I understand where you're coming from, and I do apologize for trying not to put myself in your shoes immediately. We're
still getting to know each other, so I'm not good at apologies, but I sort of have a peace offering.
Okay.
Alright, so this is gonna seem weird.
Okay.
But if I have your permission, and then the rest of this is gonna be telepathic, will you share your memory of your dream with me?
What? Okay.
So out of character.
Oh, she's sneaky. She's sneaky.
What? No! So Adam, for my ability, for part of my telepathy, we can communicate telepathically, but also you can share perfect recall of a memory with me. You can't change it, so you have to, it's a yes-no thing.
So you just spoke to him telepathically?
Yes.
Yeah, that's new to you, Akiva.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
While they're doing the mind meld thing, can I try to psychoanalyze her lack of dreams, given the fact that she was in a very traumatic experience?
Let's go ahead and roll it.
I don't think I've actually heard the details of where she was on the day it happened.
Yeah.
Hold on.
That's true.
Can we get a clarifying point here?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Was there an actual, thing that happened, or was he just not there one day?
Just not
there.
Okay, so there's not a moment where, at, 2:52 in the afternoon, something happened.
No, it was more like everybody woke up in the morning and all of a sudden there was no deity to pray to.
Okay,
yeah,
so it still remains open-ended.
Yes. Just all of a sudden, people woke up and the clerics felt no power. They prayed and got no spells. So anyway, back to Scriv's insight check to see if Belinda's okay.
19.
I like the idea of Scriv getting super Freudian.
He's just trying to figure it out because he's not a part of it.
So you're trying to figure out how much she's been affected by that event.
Yes.
Because I don't talk about it.
Are you attempting to hide it?
I'm not trying to be deceptive in any way about that.
Okay. Based off of a 19, it's affected her a good bit. Not her own personal connection.
I don't have PTSD, is what you're saying.
That's what I want to double check, because right now I'm freaking out over the fact that Akiva has intense PTSD and hides it behind this false face. And I'm trying to make sure that Belinda's okay.
She's totally mentally stable. She's
mentally okay.
Okay. We gotta have a checkup every 6 months. Make sure that you're okay.
It was a rough time, but she's okay.
So the only person at the table, other than potentially the actual cleric, who does have serious, lingering issues that deeply affect him, is just quietly just eating his meal, and Scriv is ignoring because there's
Scriv
drama.
is
So, as this very quiet, silent moment of just chewing happens, Akiva.
Okay, well, here's... Because she just explained that I can answer back in my head, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will answer back. I can't show you what my dream was, but not for the reasons you think. I know I've only kind of just met you guys, but I do kind of sense a kinship, and I do trust you. So it's not that I don't trust you with it, it's that it's an issue that will affect me and Valen to an extent, because we've been together for so long, and if it's something bad, I don't want it to drag you guys into it. Yes, you said we had very different upbringings, but I'm not entirely sure that's 100% sure.
It's at your discretion. I asked because that's how this ability works, but I know you weren't honest with me. And if we
Yes.
want to be allies, I want transparency. I told you one of the hardest things I've ever been through, which was a very personal thing. I hadn't even shared that with Scriv before. So I really hoped that would be enough to not earn, but hopefully make you feel like you could trust me with this, because secrets are dangerous.
And I understand that, and I'm not trying to offend you or
No,
not trust you.
you're not
It's
trusting.
just
You don't have to trust me. You obviously don't, or you would
I
share it.
do, because it might be extremely bad, and I'm 100% transparency. I don't want to drag you and Scriv into it.
If that's the case, then you shouldn't. Yeah? Sorry.
Yes.
Giuseppe question?
Because it's been about long enough. I'm sorry, is anyone going to talk about the fact that she just stopped mid-sentence and now they're staring at each other?
Yep. I was waiting for that.
By the way, this does happen faster than speaking.
Yeah,
but yes,
this is why I waited
there
for
is an
several sentences.
Yeah.
There is an awkward silence.
Are you two okay?
Yeah.
Outside something. Yeah, no, we're good. Just trying to, I guess, navigate some things. But telepathically, I'm going to say to Akiva, I really hoped you would trust me, because keeping a secret for someone's protection only leads to more danger.
Scriv, what the hell?
Valen, I think they like each other.
As we're like, eye contact.
No, listen, Valen, follow me on this, all right? She was really aggressive about a personal issue, and then they commiserated over it, and now they're doing that longing eye lock thing.
I've read books about this.
I've read plenty of books on this on the frontier. Don't you see it live in action?
Akiva
man.
is beautiful.
Can someone just pass me more bacon, please?
Here you go, man.
Thank you. Zolas just keeps going about eating as you guys are all talking about this.
All right.
Notably, I'm passing a piece of Akiva's bacon over.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. And so the last thing telepathically to Akiva would just be, it's up to you. I just would hate to think you're keeping a secret that would put everyone in danger.
And that's the exact opposite reason of why I can't share it with you. I'm sorry. I do trust you, but it's...
Don't be sorry, be right, okay?
At what point does Valen notice that Akiva is clearly wounded?
Yeah, Akiva's like...
Deeply?
Probably when I just kind of just say quiet.
Like right at the end of that, probably.
Yeah.
Akiva,
Yes?
what's going on with the staring contest, and why do you look like somebody just kicked Lazarus in front of you?
I'm just really hungry.
Akiva?
I'm not gonna lie.
You're not, and yet you have a good deception roll.
Okay, but I have a really good insight.
Yeah,
I've
he's
known you a
really
long time.
insightful.
Oh no, I know.
Are you going to take him aside, or are we all doing this at the breakfast table? Because this is the most awkward breakfast ever.
I'm taking more bacon.
You know who it's
Take a
awkward
warbit.
for? It's awkward for Valen and Scriv.
Yes,
You're just
that's
sitting
what I
here
mean.
going...
So I am going to mention, because I did not earlier, but you guys did notice when you came into the Ocean Breeze, there are 2 guards following you.
Oh,
Two
you know, that's
different guards
expected.
from last night.
Fresh guards.
Yes.
That seems fair.
I mean, if they're still in uniform, I'm not particularly worried.
Nope, they're sitting at a table near the entrance.
Really? Who wants to step up and explain what's going on for the people not in on the joke?
I mean, look,
Does
Okay.
Scriv look like he knows what's going on?
I'm just staring down. I can't even respond. at
I
this
am
point.
assuming legitimately that this is what Scriv thinks.
You know about the telepathy.
I
but
mean,
you're
you know
still
about the
just like,
telepathy, but you might...
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to Valen telepathically and say, I'll fill you in on this later.
Whoa. All right.
That didn't explain anything, but okay.
I'm assuming at this point, Scriv, you know that she can do the silent communication thing.
Everything clicks. Oh,
Right.
yeah, that makes more sense.
Okay, so you two just had a tiff, and Belinda won.
It wasn't so much a tiff. I didn't want to, because, she shared that with me, and I didn't want to, betray that secret. So, I'm sorry, Valen.
That checks out. Okay. That, I did say that they were playing some things close to the chest. I didn't know what she was, for example, and telepathy is now on the table. Right. Okay. So, cool.
I'm not having any more bacon. I'm set. Thank you.
I'm taking your bacon.
You take my bacon.
Taking the bacon. Alright, well, I apologize, by the way, for us talking behind your back and me telling Akiva that you were keeping things from us. I don't apologize for being correct.
I didn't know enough to trust you guys.
Mr. Zolas, you can now rest assured that our team is no longer hiding secrets amongst itself.
Uh-huh. Sure thing.
Is he even conscious enough to care?
His head is 2 inches off his plate as he's eating.
If we're going with full transparency, Valen, I know we talked about this already, but should I...
No, if we're opening up, it's fine. You have an otherworldly patron. Who hasn't at some point?
What?
I quietly take a sip of my tea.
I wasn't lying to you when I said I wasn't trying to drag you guys into something that wasn't your problem. My power comes from some entity that I don't know about. I've only ever had him spoke to me once when I first got the power, and then last night he spoke to me in full appearance in a dream.
This thing got a name?
No, I don't know it.
Can you share with me what that was? If you can remember it, then I can see it.
I will show her everything.
Okay.
You see the whole memory, or the whole dream, of this figure there. There is the briefest of instants, though, that you think the figure's looking at you, Belinda. Not at Akiva. You see, a shift slightly.
The eyes dart for 2 seconds.
Like a fourth wall break as
Yeah.
I'm viewing the memory.
Yep. This has never happened to you before.
It's never happened.
So, I don't know what he wants, and if it's something bad, I didn't want to drag you two into it.
Yeah, well, we're here. We're working together, and this seems like this could affect everyone. So, I am not sure what to do next, but you've obviously been put on notice for some reason.
Yeah, and I don't love the timing either after our encounter last night with warlocks and undead.
So you said you don't know what we should do, and I think we do now. We're
What do you
going to
think?
the academy, we're going to get our gear, and we're leaving town.
This is true. So I guess we just continue with our plan as is, and...
Because all of this is big picture stuff that doesn't really affect what we're trying to do right now.
So Akiva,
Yeah.
tell us as things are happening, because it will affect all of us as long as we're traveling together.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't want to have to keep it from you, but...
Yeah, also, side note, you're not good at keeping secrets.
It's not my thing!
No, it does not make you happy. I can tell. Your face has been in, agony. It's hard to look at you right now.
I'm sorry.
I steal another slice of bacon,
Oh man, does it feel good not to have to keep these secrets.
and I look over at Zolas. Yep, this is a good thing to talk about in public.
He raises the bacon up that he has in his hands, right back at you, and just chews down.
I'm sorry, Valen, I know I wanted to keep it close to the belt, but oh man, does this feel good to get it off my chest.
I think we're gonna be alright. That was killing you.
By about this time, you guys hear a very loud voice coming out from outside. You recognize it immediately as Olga's.
Oh.
And it just calls out and says, "The attack last night has been dealt with. There is no more cause for alarm. The undead entities have fled the city, and they will not be returning. We will be hunting them down and dealing with them. Further announcements as things develop. Thank you."
Why is she just shouting this into the tavern?
Hear ye, hear
Shouting it
ye!
on the
She's
street.
outside.
Oh, it's probably
But
over
it seems
loudspeakers.
unnaturally loud.
Yeah.
like thaumaturgy loud.
Like thaumaturgy loud.
Wow, she's
Okay.
a really loud person. Is she just standing outside yelling at us?
No, she's not.
You don't bother to explain, you just say,
No.
Yeah, Akiva literally just tilts his head like, huh?
Just simple magical effect.
Oh. This magic takes me getting used
magic, not stage magic.
Yeah.
Obviously, since... No, you perform both. Never mind.
One is magic, one is illusions.
But an illusion is a school of magic.
I know, it's very confusing.
That's no problem. All right. Anything else you guys would like to discuss during breakfast in the middle of this nice open tavern before we keep going?
I assume we could be in like a secluded corner, and we're not yelling.
No.
Well, I mean, can I just toss a look over at the 2 guards who have been assigned to observe these 4 adventurers?
Yeah, but I would imagine they're not close enough to overhear our conversation.
I don't know.
I mean, if they are...
There's no food on the table, no drinks on their table. They are just staring towards you guys.
Cool. Bunch of professionals here. We're a bunch of pros.
Yep, you just look over. They are there.
What can I say? I like sharing. Sharing is caring.
It says that on one of Scriv's cards.
I think it's time for us to go and finish what we need to do.
Yeah. So, Zolas, I think you're going to stay with Valen and Akiva?
Yes.
All right. We're going back to the inn for now.
Yep, you can pass right the heck back out. We will,
Occupy ourselves with something.
We'll be hanging out, making sure no one sneaks up on you.
All right. Appreciate it. And he is going to follow you back to the inn, to the Thistledon Inn.
Guards split up 1-to-1?
Nope, they follow Zolas.
They don't care about us at all. They're here for Zolas.
All right, just making sure they're not suspecting us, like, keep an eye on these adventurers. We don't know what they could possibly do.
Yeah, when you guys split up, you do see them, like, pause for the briefest of seconds to see, like, where you guys are headed, and then continue to follow Zolas.
Yeah, and we just walk normally. It's not like we're scuttling away into the shadows of an alley or something. We're just like, now we walk to the academy.
All right.
Oh, on the way to the academy, I wanted to post some correspondence.
Okay. Yeah, there's a place nearby that you see the symbol of it's the basic understanding of the shape of Nabrasil with like kind of what looks like a bag stuffed with letters.
It's a Scrivener's shop.
Yeah.
Basically. Scriv's like, do you want to go in, Scriv? I was just going to drop off some mail. But actually, maybe, do they sell
calligraphy kits?
They do.
Yeah.
There are several there.
I need a set.
Okay.
We're going to Fantasy Office Depot.
I mean, you're not incorrect.
The place is called the Adept Writer and calligraphy supplies. Yeah, they sell them for 10 gold.
All right, cool. And this might not be above board, but how much extra gear would I need to get for a forgery kit?
For a forgery kit is 15 gold.
He said, could you acquire the parts of a forgery kit and put it together?
Yes, and put it together with the rest of the equipment from a calligrapher's kit. Because, I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so calligrapher's supplies mainly contains ink, parchment, quills, and forgery's got different kinds of ink, so you can kind of have some of that, but you would need some seals and sealing wax,
I'm sure they sell that here.
gold and silver leaf, and small tools to sculpt melted wax to mimic a seal. So you can have about 3/4 of a forger's kit starting to put together.
Okay.
Can we just do it as, so Scriv's going to be going around the shop. I assume there's things on shelves that he can acquire, and I'll just sort of chat up the shopkeeper while he shops, because I'm just mailing stuff.
Yeah, actually, honestly, the usual tools to sculpt the wax you aren't able to acquire.
Okay.
So you can get the majority of it.
So, yeah, I'll get a majority of it. Also, a nice little side carrying container for all my calligraphy kit.
Yep.
Just the Scrivener's bag.
Scrivener's special calligraphy kit.
Yeah.
Yep,
All right,
that sounds
cool.
fun.
Trademark pending.
How much?
Yeah, since I'm also mailing things at I'm sure rather significant cost, can we get some sort of deal?
Belinda, you already have a deal for the mailing.
Yeah.
Make me a persuasion check with advantage.
22.
I also have a letter to send home. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I can mail yours with mine.
Oh, cool.
All right. So you guys get all of that together, and he says, as he's counting up the supplies, it'd be about 8 gold pieces
8?
with your deal.
Yeah, that seems fair.
All right.
All right.
Nice. Successful Office Depot trip.
So you guys have calligrapher's tools.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys approach the massive stone, almost castle-like looking structure that is Arborshade Academy. Stained glass windows kind of cover the entire outside. You see a large open field in the front with what look like kind of scarecrows type figures, like practice dummies.
Huh.
Arcane runes can be seen throughout, and you see on the door itself like adamantine bars kind of across it. You see also small floating globes at the different corners of the building, but they are currently dim. You would assume that these can potentially produce light at night.
Okay.
Nice.
Do you know where we're supposed to be going?
We're looking for Zinevere. I'm sure we can ask.
As you approach, you see a bunch of people are moving about this early in the morning. You see several people over by the training dummies, seeming to try to practice some spells. As you guys are coming up, you see a female half-orc dressed in fairly nice robes, talking to a half-elven woman who has long blonde hair, and she is immaculately dressed. Like, she takes extremely good care of herself. Her hair is kind of slicked back a bit. The female half-orc is much larger and imposing, about 6.5 feet tall, with several piercings along her nose and ears, but they just seem to be conversing as you guys are approaching the door, and both turn to look at you as you come up.
By the way, it's kind of like, I just realized we're not spellcasters at all. We're like, let's go to the Wizard Academy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I am going to walk up to them both and say, good day. I am looking for Zinevere. I'm supposed to meet up with her. Could you assist us?
The half-orc woman goes, "You're looking for Zinevere? May I say what your name is?"
Belinda Walsingham. We've been corresponding.
You see, she grabs one of the earrings on her ear and just goes, "Mistress Zinevere, you have a Belinda Walsingham here to see you." After a moment, you just, she's expecting you. If you head in, stairs to your right, go up 2 stories, and it'll be the 3rd door on your right as you head down.
Thank you very much. If I could just quickly ask, what are your names? We're new to town.
I'm Master Katrina Hallite, the half-orc woman says, evocation instructor. And the half-elf woman goes, "Alinus Serpenthelm, a pleasure," and just bows. "Abjuration Master."
Yeah, I'm going to kind of glance over at Scriv and try to get a read on how he's doing, because there are a lot of people here, and they're like spell casting and scurrying around, and it's just a lot.
Can I try and focus on palming a coin as a focus action?
Okay, so you're trying to do that to keep yourself calm and focused and at attention?
I figure if I can focus on doing this basic action, maybe that can keep me from having to focus on everything else that's going on.
For the sake of this, roll just a wisdom check for me.
10.
Okay. You're holding your own. You're starting to get accustomed to it. It's definitely not as bad as yesterday was. You're able to kind of keep your focus on the things around you and on the coin.
All right. As long as I'm able to do that, and I look over Belinda, nod my head.
Okay. Once we get in there, I'll make the introductions, but I think you'll, if you're comfortable taking the lead on showing what you brought. Okay. I guess we're heading up the stairs.
All right. You head up off these intricately carved stone spiral stairway that goes up and proceed down this hallway that is very well crafted, but very Spartan in design. Not a lot of flair, not a lot of beauty and artwork and all that. It's just very plain and simple, but well kept and well maintained.
What style is it in? Just traditionally.
It's dwarven.
Okay.
You go to the door that you were instructed, and it is already open. And inside you see an older human woman with short braided gold hair and bright blue eyes. Very attractive overall. She is actually just barely 5 feet tall, but wearing very nice, intricate robes and seems to just be writing on something as you approach. The walls are stacked with books. Bookcases just completely cover almost the entire stonework around and just are filled to the brim. There's a simple desk kind of in the center as you see this woman just poring over a tome as you guys approach. And when you round the corner, she looks up. "Belinda, I assume?"
Yes, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and this is...
Scribner Whitecliff from Veripol.
"Charmed." She gestures off just outside of your view from the doorway, and 2 chairs slowly float and approach and sit by her desk on the opposite side. Like, "Please."
Well, you're certainly making us feel welcome. Thank you.
"Of course. I don't have class at the moment, so I have plenty of time to discuss things. You came at an interesting time in Almiron."
Yes, considering what happened last night, which we were rather intimately involved with, not really through choice, but through chance.
They attacked by the harbor as well, I heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was an attack at the academy as well. I think they were using it just to stall the wizards here.
So it was extremely coordinated then.
This was planned.
I'd be more concerned about how they were able to get this far into the city.
Disguising spells for these types of creatures are not uncommon.
Is everyone here at the Academy extremely concerned?
No longer. We have been casting several spells and dispel magics on some of the students to make sure.
Are you aware of why we were sent here?
Belinda, you said that you were on your way and wanted to speak more when you had arrived, and you had an object, an amulet or some sort to be looked at?
Well, I'm really just the messenger. Scriv here is the one carrying it and has studied it thus far.
Well, I can say I myself don't tend to go for artifacts of that sort. That more is our divination master. Horjian treats patients.
What is your area of expertise?
I tend to run the school in Thovin's absence, but I am the master of necromancy.
I'm gonna pull out the amulet and just lay it out. This was recovered deep in the ruins of Silverkeep, and it's a bit of an anomaly compared to everything else that's been recovered on site.
So you pull out this small amulet that is very worn but seems still very much preserved, much more so than you feel like it should have been. It contains no magical essence from your studies of it, and it is elven in design, which was odd because most of Silverkeep has been dwarven in its construction, as well as it's older than anything you've found there so far.
Yeah.
So she initially takes it and takes a look at it. There is a gem that's supposed to go in here, it looks like. There's an empty space.
Yeah.
Turns it over, looks at some of the very worn runes on the back of it. These look like they're arcane in nature. Is this magical? Have you had this inspected?
Well, that's kind of why we were here. The runes don't line up with any of the languages that I know or that I've been able to cross-reference in Silverkeep, and there wasn't any magic detected on the amulet itself.
Fascinating.
So I didn't know if it had lost charge, or maybe the missing gem was some sort of source of power for it.
Perhaps. May I? As she puts it down and seems to be, like, preparing to cast a spell.
I take a step back.
She focuses for a moment and then reaches out and touches the object. It's not magical in and of itself. Interesting. It's entirely possible Horjian would know more. I can summon him if you wish, or simply direct you to his office.
Please, we could go to his office directly. We don't know how much you have to deal with, especially if the academy was attacked.
That's been mostly taken care of, fortunately. Simply going over some things and making sure that everything is where it should be.
Forgetting himself for a bit, well, you could always just join us for a bit of an adventure. It's a question you don't know the answer to.
My adventuring days are many, many, many years past. But thank you.
If I can just ask one final question.
Yes.
I know your time is valuable. Do you know what, or do you suspect what sparked this attack?
I suspect the cleric that is coming in sparked this attack.
That aligns with what we also suspected.
Whatever it is that he knows or has must be something that this third party does not want getting out. She kind of looks to the two of you. It was only the artifact that brought you to Amaran, correct?
That was the original instigating force, I would say.
It is a long way to travel just to inspect an artifact.
I shrug. I normally act as a researcher, so...
She kind of holds up her hands like, my apologies. My old mistrust showing up again. I do not mean to pry into your business.
No, it's fine. Once we manage to get this identified, we'll probably give it over to the Church of Adar to be handled. So, thank you very much for your time.
Of course. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Just direct us where we need to go.
Looks to Belinda.
I look forward to continuing our correspondence, especially on the nature of what happened on the 23rd of Neil a year ago.
She just nods. I've still not found any more information, sadly. Doing what I can, using what scrying magics I can, what other divination capabilities are in my possession and in Horjian's. But thus far, there's nothing new.
That's what I assumed, but I look forward to hearing from you if you learn anything, and I'm always willing to share anything that I learn.
I appreciate that.
So, yeah, we turn and we leave to go in the direction.
So she will gesture you a few doors down the hallway, and you see her just kind of pull a small ring out of a drawer and just say, Horjian, are you in your office at the moment? And holds it up to her ear. You have 2 visitors coming to see you about an artifact I think you might find of interest. And she says, he's there. You may proceed.
Sorry, if I could ask, what are you using, and how do we get one or some?
These are earrings of message. We have cast spells upon them to expand their range. They are linked to another earring specifically, however.
It's fascinating.
Yes. In terms of how you get one, we might have a few spares if you wish.
That would be wonderful.
Just come see me once you're done speaking with Horjan. I'll see what I can find.
Thank you. That's incredibly kind and generous.
Of course.
Thank you.
I mean, it's very nice to actually get to meet someone I've corresponded with for so long.
Put a face to the name.
Indeed.
Yes, I've always enjoyed our letters, and I look forward to hearing from you further, and hopefully we'll solve some mysteries.
I hope so as well. I will tell you what avenues I continue to explore as I do.
Take care of yourself.
And you as well, Belinda. Scrivener?
Headmaster?
All right.
I just back out. Belinda, did you and the headmaster want some time alone to discuss whatever else in the correspondence? I felt like a third wheel.
No, not at all.
That date, though, is that you mentioned, as we're going, by the way.
Right, we walk and talk. Gotcha.
So, that date you mentioned, that was the day when it all happened? That day specifically?
So far, everything I found out, it all lines up to that date. That's why I was asking Valen about it as well. His sort of lack of contact with his Deva.
That day sounds so familiar. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. I don't recall anything in particular, but that my focus has been totally on this side of things. So maybe that's a question or something to bring up with your family. I was hoping we might visit them on our way to Orenthal.
Just us, right?
Well, we would be traveling with our companions, and...
Oh boy.
Does that make you uncomfortable?
I mean, you know how Dad is.
Yeah.
And I think that him meeting Akiva is something that should never, ever, ever happen. For Akiva's sake.
I mean, I think Akiva's perhaps stronger than he seems.
Okay.
He seems resilient. I think he would appreciate Jack's jokes.
You know what? You're right. We knock on this door.
As you knock on the door, you hear, "Come in, come in, come in."
Push
We
open
come
the
in.
door.
You open the door, and there is a gnome sitting at just a simple stool with a kind of little podium with a crystal ball on it. And he has cropped curly blonde hair and brown eyes, kind of rough, dirty golden skin. He is just barely under 4 feet tall, very thin, and very plain face. And is just like kind of staring intently towards his crystal ball as you initially come in. Nothing today. Oh, so you're Zenevir's friends, right?
Yes, I'm Belinda Walsingham, and this is...
Scrivener Whitecliff.
Master Horjan treats patients. Pleasure.
Mr. Treats patients. We were told that you could provide assistance with analyzing a relic that was recovered over in Silverkeep.
He hops off the stool and walks over to you. Yes. What is this artifact? You have it? And he just holds a hand out.
Yes. And I pull out the golden amulet and hand it over.
Oh. And he just immediately takes it over to a desk that you see now in the corner and puts it down, reaches in, pulls out a magnifying glass and really looks at it and starts to, this elven design, but this is millennia old. And just keeps flipping it over and over. That's arcane symbols?
It doesn't line up with any of the other relics that were recovered in Silverkeep, mostly dwarven in make.
Well, most of Silverkeep's artifacts tend to be, silver. But the gold design on this keeps flipping it kind of as he looks through it.
If you'd like, I have an etching of the runes on the relic, if that makes it easier for you to observe.
Actually, yes, that'd be fantastic.
I just hand over a charcoal etching that I managed to get.
He immediately he starts to look through it. You see him wave a hand, and a little ghostly, half-transparent hand kind of comes up and pulls a book off of one of his shelves and brings it over. And he starts flipping through it. No, and just keeps going. And this takes a little bit of time as he's kind of going back and forth, just looking.
I would like to help by providing as much information as possible,
Right.
given my own research.
So you're filling him in on what you know of this amulet. And after a little while, he's just, I've never seen anything like this.
Neither had I. That's why we were suggested to come to the academy. Hopefully, if anything, this place would have the answers.
It would take me a good deal of time if I was going through all of my books to try and find anything that might actually relate to this. Elven in origin makes me think that maybe the High Elves of Solana might know something about this. They're definitely much more practiced in the arcane. But founding it in Silverkeep, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
Especially with it being seemingly as old as it is. I could get back to you on this if you want. It would take some time for me to study this, but...
Do you have an expected time when we might be able to give an update? I could give you a point of contact within the Church of Adar.
I'm going to be spending all day looking at this, so I might have more information for you by tomorrow morning, or I could always... Hold on. And he kind of looks at you intently for a moment. Okay, I can always send you a sending message.
Okay, that would be acceptable.
Studying Scriv's face.
Not going to ask any questions, completely accepting, yep, this guy could totally do it if he needed to.
Oh, interesting. And he's just staring now where the gem would go, and as he's kind of brushing his fingers over it, an old lost awakens, an unspoken end. Undead rise as ancient love is rediscovered. A hero's lost will break the chains. A broken heart will bring about the dawn of evil. Beware the day the sun goes dark, as it signals the return of that which even the gods fear.
What?
Wait,
What?
what just happened?
And that is where we're going to leave this episode for today. Thank you all for listening. Please share this with your friends and follow us on Twitter @RulesAsWritten, or check out our website, dndraw.com, and feel free to email any questions to me at dm@dndraw.com. Also subscribe and leave us a review or comment anywhere podcasts are found, and please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dndraw. And I hope to see you next time in the world of Ostia.